Hey, I'm Johnny Scoville, and this is Chase the Heat. This is a video I'm going to catch heat for. It's just the way it is. I'm talking about relevant stuff. Just talking about stuff that happens to be very, very relevant in the chili world right now. We're going to talk a little bit about this sauce today. I got a little quick history. I did a review of it. It's made with over 91% Pepper X sauce. It says so on the label. And Pepper X is 2.69 million Scoville heat units. So needed to be very, very hot. I mean, just mathematically speaking. And it really wasn't. And so and when I did the video, I got so much heat from it. I really did. I got a lot of hate emails and nasty comments. Love those nasty anonymous comments. However, then I chugged it the following day, I think it was. But I decided to get it tested. Everybody said I was just being mean. Well, I wasn't just being mean. It wasn't that hot a sauce. It just wasn't. So I sent it off to get tested. And it was this bottle. Oh, no, it wasn't. It was a bottle inside. This is the bottle I chugged. But anyway, it came back 61,019 Scoville heat units. Now, I want to kind of explain something. This is stuff that I got from people that work in labs. We're going to pretend this is 91%. And now we're not accurate. Kind of winging it. I'd say if the bottle is going to be filled to here, I would say that's about 91%, or in the ballpark. Can we all agree? Pretty close to it? All right. Simple math. If about this much, number one, is filled with a green pepper, it doesn't matter what you add from here to here. In this case, it's vinegar. It says so on the bottle. That's going to change the color of a green pepper red. That's bizarre to me. It's just bizarre to me. The other thing is this. If we, and I know that nowhere on here does it say it's going to be, you know, there are videos where Ed talks about how hot it's supposed to be. In one video, he says it's 2.4 million. If you want to see a great video by Dizzy Dragon, check it out. He talks about it. You can see him say it. He says it's a 2.4 million Scoville sauce. But recently, kind of in response to, I think, me and the test I done this, they did test it in-house and said it was over 1 million. Here's the problem with that. If 91% of your sauce is a product that by numbers is 2.69 million, it matters not what you add from here to here. It can't dilute this lower than about 2.3 million. It's about the lowest it could be. It couldn't be any higher than about 2.45. And that's what scientists are saying. All right? So to have them say, well, we tested in-house, each time it was over 1 million, that doesn't really help. Even at 1 million, there's a problem. And the problem is, here's the thing. Everybody wanted to taste it. It was exciting. I love hot sauce. I got a sauce I tried the other day that gave me the hiccups. I have never had the hiccups before from a hot sauce. It was a beautiful thing. We all want a sauce that hot. And if 91% of a sauce, and it says so right here, it says that over 91% of it is Pepper X. And again, this is rough, it's water, but roughly, if that's about 91%, and we know that it's 2.69 million, nothing you add is going to drop it below 1 million, or below 2. Below 2. It would have to be at least a 2 million Scoville heat sauce. So I'm just saying, even when they come back and say, well, we tested in-house, it's over 1 million, that's still a problem. Right? I just thought I'd talk about that. There's some very good videos being made about it. Again, I'm just the voice of a whole lot of people who don't have a voice, who wish they could speak up and say something. I've read the comments. I'm just a nobody. I don't have a channel. But I didn't think, I'm not even a chili head really, but I thought it was going to be a lot hotter. But who's going to listen to me? Well, I heard a lot of comments like that. And I had a lot of comments of people that were just really going after me. Now, there's a second bottle of sauce at a different lab. Imagine I'm going to get it back shortly. Here's my prediction. I didn't taste that sauce. I've only tasted the one that you saw me taste, the one that I emptied this one. The test that was sent to the first lab was 61,019 Scoville heat units. I'll bet you the second one's probably going to be somewhere in the ballpark. But, you know, it's just... I think that 15 years ago or 10 years ago, you could float that. You could float it. Nobody would really notice. But it's a very educated crew of people that are eating peppers these days. And the other thing is this. I mean, I think I've used this analogy before. If I haven't, I should have. To me, it's sort of like the dragon's breath pepper. It's a spectacular pepper. It really is. And the last couple times I've had them, that Tom Broom grew, were sweet and just piping hot and really great pepper. However, when it was rolled out, what they said was that it was 2.49 million Scoville heat units, okay? And they said that it could kill a person. There's still no pepper at 2.49 million Scoville. It certainly isn't that. So, but here's the reason I say it. They didn't need to overdo it. They didn't need to. It was good as it was. You know what I mean? You didn't need to do it. I worked in a phone room, and we did a 2-part sale. I was one of the closers. And it was a phone gig where the first person it was a setter, there was a closer, and I was a closer. And the setter would get all the financial information, find out the kind of money he had, what direction he wanted to go with. It was an opportunity thing that we were selling. And it was the amount of money that we were selling. It was an absurd amount of money. And the whole process, you guys, I was really, really good at it. I mean, I was one of the best. I had a 3% cancellation rate. We're talking about $7,000 packages over the phone. My return rate was 3% in an industry where the average at that time was 17. I was really good, all right? The sale that I was doing, for the bulk of it, was based on a video, an infomercial that people would watch and buy a package. And I would call those people that bought the package, and it would be an upsell. I was the closer. The setter would call them and get the information and pass it on to me, and I'd close the deal. All the information on the infomercial, we were told to as salespeople, was real. Those are real people. Those are not actors. Those are real, just normal, everyday people. And there was one kid, he was a young guy, and he was just the most relatable dude. And just, ended up making just absurd amounts of money. And I used to say in the pitch, you saw that, I used to say to them, why'd you buy that? Why'd you buy the kit? Because you saw the infomercial, right? Well, those weren't actors. Those were people just like you. But they didn't get there on their own efforts. They got there with the help of a success coach. We're giving you the opportunity right now. Now I want to tell you something. I found out I was driving a Porsche. I was making more money. I was making money hand over fist. One day I get a phone, I get a call from my secretary in New York. Her name was Lacey. She called me crying. She was just like rock, just granite, tough battle axe, doesn't cry over anything. I said, why are you crying? She was like, you can't talk. I said, get to a place where you can and call me. Waited a second, she got to an office and shut the door and called me, and she said, everybody, it's all a lie. And I said, what are you talking about? She said, the people in the video, they're actors. It's all a lie. I quit that day. That day, I quit. I mean, within 15 minutes, I said, are you serious? She told me the story. I got the phone, I got on the PA, I got all of my managers into my office. I said, I quit. How about that? I was one of the best one of the best liars in the entire country, because I was told a lie that I believed, and I sold it. The point of me telling you the story is I didn't need that lie. I could have sold it anyway. It was a great program. I didn't need the lie, but they made me a liar. That sauce, this sauce was plenty hot. It's a very hot sauce. It didn't need to be hyped up any more than it was. And if nobody told things about it that weren't true, nobody would be making videos like this, and nobody would be upset at all. If I wasn't lied to about those videos, I would have kept that job. I was making multiple six figures. The Dragon's Breath wasn't going to kill anybody. It wasn't 2.49 million. If this is over 91% Pepper X is not 2.6 million. Pepper X being 2.6 million and this don't go together. So I'm just, it's clarification, because I'm tired of people saying that I have a beef. I don't have a beef against anybody. You know what? It's a quest for the truth. Listen, I'm the voice for a lot of people who are really upset. And I had an argument with a guy once. It was really funny. He was lying to me in the argument. And his argument to me was, you can't tell me what I heard. You can't tell me what I heard. I said something to him, and he said I didn't. And he was lying. But that was his argument. You can't tell me what I heard. Well, it doesn't matter what anybody there says, how hot their sauce is. You can't tell me what I tasted. You can't tell me what I tasted. And what I tasted was not a very hot sauce. It wasn't horrible. Just like Dragon's Breath. It's good pepper. Just wasn't what they said it was. So, what this is I hope, you know what it is? It needs to be a wicked big learning lesson for everybody in the industry. Because you know what you can do? You can do things right a million times in a row and no one's going to remember it. But when you do something really wrong once, they tend to remember. And the internet doesn't forget. Anyway, I just wanted to kind of clarify a little bit of this. We're not done talking about it either, because they're going to say something else, and I'm speaking the truth. You know what? I'm the voice of people who don't have a voice. This platform, this microphone, this camera looking at me is the microphone for a whole lot of people who feel upset and don't have a venue. They don't have a platform. So that's what this is about. I'm going to get the score back. I'm going to get the lab records back from the second company. It's a different lab. I'll read them to you. I'll open it up and read them to you. We'll see what happens. But it's crazy. Maybe they're using that new math. In the description box, you're going to see all the normal stuff. Right there is the boat. Right there is the bus. Right there is the boat. Right there. Look, pepperology challenges, they go back and forth, but that's what's up there. There's a lot of fun stuff for you to watch. Got a lot of love for you guys. Just trying to get things straight. Things need to start making sense, don't they? I'm Johnny Scoville. This was Chase the Heat.